Let's start with a simple yet profound statement. Living more than you are gives you anxiety. Living less than you are gives you guilt. So the only true way to live is as your authentic self. It sounds straightforward, doesn't it? But let's dive deeper because in its simplicity lies a profound truth. 1. The peril of living more than you are. Have you ever felt like you're sprinting in a race you didn't sign up for? Like you're constantly trying to live up to an image of success, perfection, or happiness that doesn't even feel like your own? This is what happens when we try to live more than we truly are. It's the root of anxiety, this constant striving to meet impossible standards, often imposed by society, peers, or even ourselves. We live in a world that glorifies hustle culture. Social media shows us snapshots of success. People launching businesses, traveling the world, buying homes, or living seemingly perfect lives. It's easy to feel like we're falling short, that we need to do more, achieve more, and be more just to keep up. But at what cost? When we stretch ourselves beyond our limits, we lose touch with who we are. We start living for others' expectations instead of our own purpose. Anxiety creeps in because we're not aligned with our truth. It's as though we're wearing a mask every day, pretending to be someone we're not, and that dissonance becomes unbearable. If you've ever found yourself restless at night, worried about not doing enough, or panicked about a future that feels out of control, that's a signal. A signal that you may be trying to live more than you are, and it's time to come back to center. But how about the burden of living less than you are? On the other side of the spectrum, there's guilt. Guilt arises when we live less than we are. Have you ever silenced your voice in a meeting because you didn't think your ideas were good enough? Have you ever hidden parts of yourself, your passions, your dreams, your truth, because you were afraid of being judged or rejected? When we shrink ourselves to fit into someone else's box, when we dim our light to make others comfortable, guilt sets in. We know deep down that we are not honoring the fullness of who we are. Living less than you are often feels safer in the moment. It's easier to avoid confrontation, to go along with the crowd, or to stay in your comfort zone. But over time, this safety comes with a price. Guilt gnaws at you, reminding you of all the things you could have done, all the things you should have done, if only you had been brave enough to live fully. Guilt and regret can weigh even heavier than the anxiety of overreaching because they remind us of opportunities missed, of a life half-lived. Then let's move to the sweet spot, living authentically. So how do we avoid these extremes? How do we stop living more or less than we are and find peace? The answer is simple, but profound. We must live authentically. Living authentically means embracing every part of who you are, your strengths, your flaws, your passions, and your quirks, and showing up as that person every single day. It's about saying no when something doesn't align with your values, even if it disappoints others. It's about saying yes to the things that light your soul on fire, even if they scare you. It's about letting go of perfection and embracing progress. Authenticity doesn't mean you have to be perfect, it means you have to be real. When you live authentically, you step out of the cycle of anxiety and guilt. You're no longer trying to prove yourself or play small. You're simply living as the person you were always meant to be. Now let's get practical. How can we embrace this authentic way of living? Here are 3 steps to living as you truly are. 1. Know yourself deeply. To live as you truly are, you first need to know who that is. Take time to reflect on your values, passions, and purpose. What makes you come alive? What feels right in your heart, even if it doesn't make sense to others? Journaling, meditation, and honest conversations with yourself are great tools for self-discovery. 2. Set boundaries. Living authentically means protecting your peace. It's okay to say no to things that don't serve you. It's okay to walk away from situations or people that force you to be someone you're not. Boundaries are not walls, they're bridges that connect you to your true self. 3. Take aligned action. It's not enough to know who you are, you have to live it. This means making choices that align with your values and stepping out of your comfort zone when necessary. Start small. Speak up in a meeting. Pursue a passion project. Take that leap of faith you've been avoiding. Every step you take in alignment with your truth will bring you closer to a life of peace. When you live authentically, peace becomes your natural state. You're no longer chasing something outside yourself, nor are you holding yourself back. Instead, you're simply being. This peace doesn't mean your life will be free of challenges. It doesn't mean you'll never face fear or doubt, but it does mean you'll face those challenges as your true self, and that makes all the difference. Indeed, the world doesn't need us to be more than we are. It doesn't need us to be less than we are. It needs us to be exactly who we are. When we honor our truth, we inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of authenticity, courage, and peace in a world that desperately needs it. Live fully, live authentically, and most importantly, live in a way that brings you peace.